The name of the project is DRIFT, which stands for Dense Recording of In-Shoe Foot Temperature, and we are combining health with technology in order to give a better service to our patients. Diabetes mellitus is a worldwide epidemic affecting over 8% of the global population, with the WHO stating that this amount will double in the next 30 years. Now, if we look at the local scenario, we know that we have over 40,000 people living with diabetes, and we also know that every year 400 of these will suffer an amputation, meaning that they will either lose a toe, a foot, or part of a leg, with huge implications to their quality of life. And with quality of life, we mean impact on not only on their physical component, but also financial and also psychological. The good news is that through research, we know that half of these, or the majority rather, of these amputations and foot complications can be avoided with proper foot screening and foot monitoring. Therefore, we felt the need of developing a system that monitors the foot during daily activities, that is, during their work, their leisure, and also their daily walks, because it is there where most foot complications arise, going unnoticed.
We are working on an in-shoe temperature monitoring system. The idea is to have an insole that is continuously monitoring the temperature activity of the feet of patients. It is known that in patients with diabetes, when there are problematic conditions, there are abnormal patterns of temperature activity, and we are detecting those at an early phase in order to prevent complications that are arising. The system we are working on consists of various components: software, hardware, firmware, and these need to work together in order to make the system an effective one. This involves quite a number of challenges because obviously you need expertise in all these different areas, and you need to make sure that all the components can communicate well together. Plus, then you also have to make sure that these are suitable to be worn by the patients, safe for the patients, and then there's also the aspect of gathering the data and analyzing the data to some advanced analysis techniques as well. So there are a lot of advanced levels of expertise that are required for each of these elements. In order to get the project to a situation where it can be used by patients in the real world, we need obviously to make sure that things are properly tested on patients in their day-to-day life. In a laboratory condition, everything is controlled. We are guiding the patients on what they should be doing, but in the wild, when they are at home or outdoors carrying out their everyday errands, and we have no control of that. So it is harder to determine for how long the system will be worn, whether there will be new temperature patterns we have never observed, and all these have to be taken into account in order to make sure that we can effectively predict rising complications even in these non-controlled conditions.
The main partner for this project is in the University of Malta. There were two departments participating, namely the Podiatry Department within the Faculty of Health Sciences and also the Center for Biomedical Cybernetics. Our other partner was Mater Dei.
The project was possible thanks to the funding obtained from MCST. There were actually two phases of funding. The first part was the commercialization voucher program to ensure the feasibility of what we are developing, the commercial feasibility of it. And then we actually also got funding from the technology development program that allowed us to develop the technology we are working on. Without this funding, we would not have been able to acquire the required hardware to engage people on the project, and therefore without personnel and without the required resources, it is difficult to take these projects forward. So MCST enabled the work that we have carried out.